What's up, guys? Welcome back to Monday Gunday. We're here with episode 9, and today we are featuring the FN 509 Tactical. So I'm just going to start out with a brief history on FN and the 509. So, Fabrique des Nationales des Armes de Guerre, hopefully I said that right, was founded in 1889, and their first major contract was for 150,000 Mauser Model 89 rifles for the Belgian military. Then later, in 1897, they entered into a long-term contract with the legend himself, John Moses Browning. Now, John would later eventually pass away at his workbench at the FN plant in 1926. So FN has made cars and trucks and motorcycles along with small arms for over 100 years. They made their last motorcycle in 1965 and their last truck 5 years after that. So the 509 Tactical is at the heart a Browning locked breech, short recoil tilting lock action. The 509 Tactical evolved from the FNS, which was FN's submission to the US Army's XM-17 modular pistol trials. The FNS has been in production since 2011. It's available in 9mm and 40 Smith & Wesson. FN even consulted retired Delta Force operator Larry Vickers in the development of the 509 Tactical. FN also stated that in the development and testing of the MHS and 509, over 1 million rounds were fired. So that's pretty crazy. All right, so we'll go over some quick specs on the 509 Tactical. So it's got a barrel length of 4.5 inches, an overall length of 7.9 inches, an overall width of 1.35 inches, a height of 5.75 inches, a weight of 27.9 ounces, and a capacity of 17+1 with the flush fit magazine. So it comes with one 17-round magazine, a 24-round magazine, and then just your usual trigger lock. It also comes in a pretty nice nylon soft case that is actually pretty nice for what it is. The price point on the 509 Tactical is going to be around $1,100. I saw them on Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's websites for $1,029. Right, now that we covered a brief history and the specs on the 509 Tactical, let's take it out to the range and see how it stacks up on our live fire drills. All right, guys, we are out at the range with the FN 509 Tactical. We're going to run it through our 3 drills, starting with 2 build drills, then the 3R3, and then we'll bump it back to 10 yards for the B8. As always, with the build drill, we're testing like the trigger reset, the ergonomics, how well you can control the recoil through those fast strings of fire. When we're doing the reload, we're looking at mag release, slide release, mag well, how easy it is to execute a good, efficient slide lock reload. And then when we do the B8, we're just looking for how crisp the trigger is, sights, as like you saw on the last, or a couple videos ago, we ran a dot. On this one, there was also a dot on it. It is kind of an optics ready gun, so we're just gonna run it with a dot. I'll mainly be testing my accuracy, but with the dot on there, we have a lot more accountability, so I should be super accurate. So it'll be a good test of how accurate the gun is as well. But let's jump right into the build drills. All right, so as always, at 7 yards, let's see how we do. So that was a 212. I think I might have one line breaker. All right, let's try it again. That was clean in a 209. So 209, let's go check those hits, see if that one's a line breaker. I don't know, you could argue that. It looks like the grease is right on the perf, but kept the other one clean, went a little bit faster on the second one. So now I'm gonna download it to where we get a slide lock reload at 7 yards as well. We're doing 3R3. testing slide release, mag release, and mag well. That was a 385. That one felt pretty good. Set it up for a second one. All right. .446. You saw I caught my shirt a little bit there, but recovered. But I think my grip on that first shot after the reload wasn't ideal, so I threw one just outside. But so far, pretty pleased with the gun. The trigger's a little heavy, but it does have a nice break. The reset's okay, but the reloads were nice. The slide release is pretty big, so it's really easy to just kind of rest your thumb on that and wait for that new mag to slam in there. But let's bump it back 10 yards and try out the B8. All right, guys, you know the drill. 10 yards, we're not going for speed, just purely accuracy, testing how crisp the trigger is and the sights. But today we're running a dot like we did on the staccato. So it'll be really testing my accuracy as well as the gun's accuracy. So outside of that, you should be shooting really well with a dot at 10 yards. So let's see how we do. There's 10, let's go see how we did. So that's a 100, broke the line a little bit there. That one was all me, but I'd like that to tighten up, but I'm not used to the trigger. I've only probably put 30 rounds through this gun, just leading up to it, up to the range test. But so far, I do like it. It's got a good bore axis. The trigger isn't bad. I know, we'll talk about this later in the aftermarket support, but I know Apex makes one for it and I've heard it's pretty nice. But yeah, let's take it back to the armory and tally up our score. All right, guys, just got back from the range. I gotta say, I am a fan of the 509 Tactical. It's a pretty cool gun. It looks good, shoots good. So let's go into our scoring system real quick and see how it stacks up against the other pistols that we've tested and reviewed. Starting off with cost. So the 509 Tactical is kind of a spendy pistol for just a polymer striker fired pistol compared to the other ones that we reviewed. MSRP on their website is $1,100, but I did see them, like I said earlier, on Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's websites for $1,029. So even at the Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's prices, that's still pretty spendy in my opinion. So for cost, I gave it a 6. Just that's pretty steep for a polymer pistol compared to the others that we reviewed. Moving on to the ergonomics. I'm a big fan of the ergonomics. To me, it feels kind of similar to an M&P. It has the adjustable back strap so you can replace the thicknesses. It shot really well. I'm a big fan of it, so for ergonomics, I gave it an 8. Next up is trigger, and I kind of do like the trigger on the 509. It's not amazing, but it does have a pretty solid wall. It has somewhat of a rolling break, kind of similar to a Gen 5 Glock trigger, but the reset is pretty quick. There's really no over travel or really no take up after the reset, but it's still, in my opinion, it's pretty heavy, and I kind of felt that in the accuracy drills and the build drills, so I ended up giving it a 7. Next up is bore axis. I ended up giving it a 7. It's not amazing, but it's not bad at all either. It shot really nice, the recoil impulse is nice, so I gave it a 7 for bore axis. Next up is sights, and we do have a dot on this one, but the 509 Tactical comes with really nice suppressor height sights. They are the Trijicon, has the 3 tritium vials. It has this one has the white dot surrounding the front tritium vial, but they're pretty nice. So I ended up giving sights an 8. Aftermarket support, I ended up giving it a 7. There are some stuff that you can buy for the 509. We had actually a war comp on here, and that's pretty cool, but there's not a ton of aftermarket support for the 509 Tactical. I do know that Apex makes a trigger for them that's pretty nice. Since the 509 has been around for a good little bit, there's lots of holster options for them. We offer pretty much everything in our lineup. We shot it out of an Axis Elite, so the aftermarket support is pretty decent as far as holster goes. So I ended up giving aftermarket support a 7. Next up is capacity. It's pretty standard. Comes with a 17 round mag, so 17 round plus 1 in the chamber, but it also comes with a 24 round mag, which is pretty cool. That's pretty high capacity for just your standard polymer striker fired handgun. So I ended up giving capacity an 8, mainly because it comes with the big stendo. Next up is serviceability. It's really similar to pretty much all the other polymer pistols that we've reviewed. It has a little takedown lever, takes down pretty easy from there, and basically the only other tool you need is a punch. So serviceability, I gave it an 8. Moving along to value, and this one didn't do too hot in value. I gave it a 6. It's a really cool pistol, super reliable, shoots really good, but it's pretty expensive, like I said earlier, for just a polymer striker fired handgun. So it ended up getting a 6. It comes in a nice nylon case, comes with 2 magazines, which is kind of lame, but it is kind of nice that it comes with at least 1 big extended mag rather than just 2 17 round mags. So like I said earlier, we ended up giving it a 6 for value. And now we're going to end on cool factor. Again, like we always say, this is subject to the reviewer. And I thought the 509 Tactical was really cool. I think it's very aesthetically pleasing. I love the color. I love the color of the slide, the contrast of the 2 colors. It shoots really nice. It comes threaded, nice suppressor sights. It does have a pretty nice optic system that's ready to throw on. I think it advertises like 10 different optics. I have heard from a couple different suppressor manufacturers that I've talked to that the 509 Tactical is their favorite handgun suppressor host, just comparing to how reliable it is when suppressed and how nice the recoil impulse is. So that's pretty cool that it comes ready for a suppressor and it shoots well suppressed. I know a lot of people kind of complain with suppressed Glocks. I haven't had any issues with them, but yeah, so I actually kind of want a 509 Tactical now. So I ended up giving it an 8 for cool factor. So that brings the total score for the 509 Tactical to 73 out of 100. I'll put the scoreboard right here to see where it lines up, but it did have a couple drawbacks. I think the price is kind of a drawback, being it's significantly more expensive than the other striker fired pistols that we've reviewed so far. The trigger is a little heavy, but other than that, I think it's a really, really cool handgun. It shoots really nice, it's accurate, it's reliable, and it looks really good. So let us know in the comments how you think the 509 did. If you disagree with our score, let us know. As always, guys, like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next episode of Monday Gunday.